Hey guys, it's Wild Opie. So I hate filming this way. Well, in the rain for one, but um, on this Google Pixel 6a, you cannot flip your camera from front to back view while you're filming. It's kind of an inconvenience. But as you can see, everything's wet. Every time I drain these, it rains again. And it just, everything's nasty, muddy. I've been trying to get all the water out of the foundation. I got a garden hose. Fortunately, I don't have a pump, but that is a lower elevation than there, so I got to suck it up, and every once in a while I get that nasty, muddy crap in my mouth. You know, could be worse. I've seen people siphon gasoline that way, and I have done that in the past, and you don't want gas or diesel or something like that in your mouth, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Got my old service truck here. And I left the hood open because mice or something got down in there, and I found through there. I cleaned them out, but well, you can see some mouse turds maybe. But there was some like hickory nuts or something in there they were chewing on that they brought up in there. But thankfully, they did not chew any wires, so we'll leave the hood open, and that seems to take care of the problem. I gotta walk very carefully through here. As you can see, I don't have enough gravel where I'm walking, and gravel's where the truck is. But look how slimy and muddy this is. I picked all them bricks up and stacked them to get them out of the way if they ever show up to build this place. Still got leftover sand, some mortar. Hopefully that mortar stayed dry, but I gotta wheelbarrow all that dirt around the foundation. That'll keep it from flooding, I guess, but it is just horrible. And I don't want to walk over there, but can we zoom in? Yeah, we can zoom in. You see around the septic tanks that they put in, it's sinking real bad. Doesn't look like much from here, but trust me, it sunk pretty good, which that's expected. You know, they dig a hole and fill it. I had that happen at my other place. When it rains, it settles, and then there's a big cavity in the ground. You can just hear the mud. And look how full these are the foundation. You know, there's concrete pad down in there. It's for the post, for the porch. Yeah. I don't know if those are supposed to be ground level or what, but they're down there about a foot. So, and it's just plumb full, and you know, the leaves make it a nasty color. Let's go for a walk. So, yeah. I was looking at the weather forecast, and I think the 22nd, 23rd, low of 8, low of 9, and I think 13 or 12 on the 24th. The models are kind of far out, but if you look at the European model, looks like that old polar vortex, or whatever they call it, is going to be swooping down this way. I got a mineral block there set for the deer, and I throw some corn around there, and we get quite a bit, but not very high on my priority list to feed the deer right now because, you know, money. But it is entertaining to watch them come up, because most of my day I spend sitting in my pickup truck. Why do I do that instead of sitting in the camper? Well, I don't get internet in the camper. Very little. It does not work that well. So I sit in the pickup truck. Got a good view, you know. But it's the only place I get internet, really. So if I want some sort of entertainment, because we don't have power, that's where I sit. I mean, I can run the generator, but we've talked about the cost, and you know, yeah, gas prices have went down, but it still costs you something to run that generator all the time. And I got a Harbor Freight generator, and I got more hours on it than what the thing was even rated for. So, and it's still running real good. I keep the oil changed, keep the maintenance up. But I did lay this gravel down through here, but it doesn't go all the way. There's spots I did and spots I didn't do. And this was getting a little slimy through here. And I think I seen a squirrel up here in this tree. Yeah. Oh, it's coming down the tree. Gray squirrel. Don't know if y'all can see him. He's on the backside. Yeah. See if he pops out. I'm gonna spook him. Where'd you go, little squirrel? Well, he ain't there. I didn't see him come down. Oh well. Look at the vine on that. That's poison ivy. And the purple paint, which the moss has taken over, probably because all the rain. But we spray paint purple paint. Means no trespassing. It's accepted by the state of West Virginia. Got to do that every 100 feet. And a sign at least every 500. Means no hunting, no trespassing. It's unfortunate you got to do it every 100 feet. Makes for a lot of purple. So you see purple everywhere up here. That's what's going on. There we go. There's the sign and purple. Hopefully we can get this open back up to a garden. We've been working at it. A lot of brush in there, but you can see we kind of got it open. Some brush in there. Now, if you remember, I was originally wanting to build a house right up in there, but it's kind of narrow and it's wet all the time. So we decided against it because if you cut into that hill, that can slip down on you. Plus all the water coming down. It's a little rough, but I do have a little bit of cold. Maybe I shouldn't be out here in the rain, but that water bottle showed up after my last gravel delivery load. I'm thinking our truck driver threw that out. I got to get that picked up. I've been meaning to pick that up. But Clover Valley, well, we don't, that's dollar store, so we don't ever buy water from the dollar store, so been there for like 2 or 3 weeks. I've been meaning to pick that thing up. I got it picked up now. As you can see, it's getting a little slimy here. Let's see, when I graveled all this was okay, but the whole thing probably needs gravel. But a half mile of gravel, guys, that's a lot. And I might slip. I don't have the best shoes on. I got Crocs. Why? Well, when it's muddy, I don't like getting my tennis shoes muddy, so I slip these things on. You can slip them off or you get in the house, well, the camper. But they don't have the best traction. Well, you either do tennis shoes in this slimy mud, really. But kind of go slow down through here. So apologize for being out of breath. Like I said, I'm a little congested. I mean, I feel fine. It's just I got a little stuffy nose going on and stuff like that. So which I don't get out often, so I don't know where I caught it. And I was going to do this when it stopped raining, but it just keeps raining and raining. I grab the phone, do a little video, go outside, and it will just start downpouring. And it sounds like the rain's picking up right now. I've been wanting to check this hole I filled, not this one. I gotta work on this one next. Once you get a hole there and it gets wet, they do nothing but grow every time a vehicle goes through them because you're taking a little bit of mud out of it, and it just keeps growing. So I gotta fix that one. I tried to fix this one up here, but it looks like I did not do a very good job. So I got a new sign I added from the Farm Bureau. It's a good service. So basically, you know, somebody vandalized stuff, you submit a tip and it gets the person prosecuted and get a $500 reward. I'm a Farm Bureau member of West Virginia, so that is a good service to have. I'll put that right here by the property line and get that sign up. That was a sign I bought when we lived in Kansas because we had some problems there. It's my sign, so I moved it. And you'd be surprised, signs don't do much, but they do. I've seen vehicles turn around right over in here quite a bit. So you can see the headlight, well, at night you can see the headlights and stuff from where we're at. So they come up at this point, they usually spin around. So our property line kind of runs diagonal across this road, basically right there about that pine tree to the left side of that gate. I guess that used to be an old road at one time right there, but there's nothing back there. You couldn't drive back there anymore. But I guess this hole's better than what it was. When I was moving the blocks, there were some broken ones, and I took a hammer and broke them even more. Kind of threw them down in here, threw a little bit of sand on it, but it's better than what it was. But did it fix it? No. It's just a temporary fix for now. Help it from getting bigger, I guess, but that thing was getting pretty deep. The road goes down, wraps around, and comes out down and around in there. But I mean, just little stuff like that, it helps. It's not a solution, but it helps. I mean, because like I said, every time a vehicle drives through this, it'll pull out a little bit mud, and that thing will just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you can do something like this to get you by, that works. Don't go filling dirt in it because, well, if you put enough dirt in there, it might stick up, but that's going to be pure mud, no gravel on it. You can throw some dirt down in it and then put gravel on it, and it's fixed. What I need to do to fix it right is get some like number 2 gravel, dump it real heavy in that hole, then top it off with something smaller. I mean, you can leave the number 2 gravel, be fine, but like I said, that's all I had at the time. That'll get us by. There was one in Kansas. I had some leftover cement mix or Quikrete or something I threw in a hole, and that actually did wonders, but didn't totally fix it. That thing just kept sinking and sinking and sinking, and that I threw so much pieces of concrete down in that one, and it just kept sinking. But finally it firmed up enough. I had enough crap thrown in it that we're able to gravel over it, and it looked nice. The power company, I don't know why he did that, but when they were up here inspecting the poles and stuff, they threw some white ribbon there. So there's a pole back behind there. I'll show you here in a second. Walk up here. Oh, I see it up there. It's kind of camouflaged with all the trees. Yeah, basically a power pole is a tree. That's turned into a pole, right? Oh boy, there we go. I had a notification pop up. I thought I lost you guys. There's the pole there. And the next pole's all the way over that way out there. You kind of see it, yeah. And there's my camper. So like I said, you can see the headlights pretty good at night since there's no leaves on the trees, but it's cleared out where the power lines, somebody stole them, of course, but the power lines used to run. Yeah. And it's hard to get back to the camper anymore from the driveway. You got to walk all the way around the road. Which I need to exercise, but it's just so slimy. I mean, even getting in and out of the thing, slimy. And I have not been able to locate any straw bales. I did find a place that sold straw bales, but they were so pricey, I didn't get any. Usually you can throw straw bales down in the mud and takes care of it. But everything's on a budget. We're on a budget, so. But not really a whole lot going on. It's been pretty quiet back here. Mainly because it's been muddy. It almost dried up and then it got muddy again. And it has been freezing at night, which I'm not complaining, but we're going to see how well that old Chinese diesel heater works when it gets down to 8 degrees. Last night we didn't even run it at all. It stayed 51. And tonight I think it's not supposed to freeze, it's supposed to drop a little bit. I think 37 is what I seen earlier. I could be wrong. I gotta be careful on this, guys. I'll slip. Like I said, it's getting a little soft there. Looks like Jess might have got off the tire tracks just a little bit, but it didn't hurt nothing. But they only have it graveled on the tracks through here, so you get off the tracks, you sink. It is sand. Well, kind of sand. And that's a donkey. There's a donkey about, I don't know, so crow flies maybe a mile and a half. You can hear it. I know exactly where that donkey is. I don't know if you could hear that in the video or not. Rainy days. I just noticed there's some more trash down in there I gotta grab. I'll do that in a little drier day, or when it's frozen I can get down to it better. That's some sort of water bottle too, and it doesn't look like one we drink. I don't know, litter drives me nuts. You would not believe the amount of beer bottles, beer cans, and other stuff we've dragged out of here. This is unreal. When we first come up last year, there was Bud Light cans and bottles. No, it was cans. All throughout our cemetery, and shotgun shells everywhere. So somebody was drinking, and probably hunting, I assume. Yeah, alcohol and firearms, that's a real good combination, right? In the cemetery, though. Who does that? Hey, really, who does that? So now you know why when we see headlights at midnight coming up here, you get a little worried. When somebody that drinks and shoots guns and hunts out of a cemetery, it's not probably playing with a full deck. So, unfortunately, we always got to carry a gun on us just in case. So you just don't know who you're going to meet. Most of the people up here are nice. I mean, we got really good neighbors. But then there's some neighbors that, I guess, I don't know. They're not so great. But usually the people that show up here do that type of thing, they're probably not from this immediate area. Because usually on the road, down there in the holler, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows what's going on. I did hear an ambulance, or, well, a siren, I should say, yesterday. Going down the road, I could hear it echoing. I don't know what went on, but I guaranteed everybody down there in that road knows exactly what happened. Word gets around fast out through there. Now this needs some work through here. I've been trying to get rid of these puddles. I mean, it's a lot better than what it was. See, I've kind of dug the ditch a little bit. It was horrible through here. Mainly because there is a culvert. I'll put a pink line there so I can find it. Right there, and that thing was plugged. I dug it out. Doesn't seem like much, but it actually, I keep it clean now that I know where it is, and it comes out, you know, right there. It's the top of it. So now that I know where that is, you know, I'd been keeping it cleaned out and trying to get this water off the road. Well, there's a puddle. And you see, back in the day when the state did do a little bit of stuff to this road, which they don't anymore, it's been abandoned, it's been orphaned. They put down some large ballast, just probably because this has always been a problematic area, and I'm assuming that's who put that tile in. So, well, probably would had to been. That was way back when. They don't do stuff out here now, but, you know, I'm still zoomed in, guys. Why don't you say something? There we go. Sorry about that. See down through here, and it gets real narrow. I don't want to do nothing to these trees, but really gets narrow, and there's not a whole lot of room for a ditch and the road. You kind of got to hug these trees. It's not really a problem, but this gets well traveled, and it's wet, it'll probably give you problems. But there's some of that large rock they put down still through here. Some got, you know, off the road a little bit, but of course, everywhere you walk, there's always shotgun shells. Been a lot of hunting back here. So we'll walk back here to the camper. To my mess, I guess, that I gotta get. It's just been so muddy, guys. I haven't been out to get stuff straightened up, and it probably is a mess. I can't remember, but our camper's right there if you can see it. But walk down here by the cemetery and then back up to it. And it gets real slippery down here by the cemetery too, because it's just all mud, clay mud. And as you can see, this builds up here. You see the water kind of running down that. But it has nowhere to go. There's no tile under the road around here. But it doesn't get bad. I mean, it collects on the road, but it don't like flood or anything. And it's still running downhill here. But eventually by the cemetery or something, or maybe right here, I'll have to put a a tile under. This is a small one. Not a whole lot of water collects right here, but if you don't get it off the road, it's gonna lead to problems. You can see the ditch kind of goes here, then there's no tile there, so there's nowhere for it to travel, and water doesn't flow uphill, so unless you got a pump. See, there's a cemetery there. It's old family cemetery.